We are back now with our Consumer Confidential, focusing on the skills we need to stay up to date at work and how to stand out if you're looking for a new job. Here to help, of course, is Chief Consumer Investigative Correspondent Vicky Nguyen. Vicky, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
We're in the sparkles. That's
yes,
I love it out at work. I love it. So everyone's buzzing right now about this new term called job hugging.
It is hysterical, but it's exactly what it sounds like, Dylan. People are embracing their jobs right now. What a departure, right? From just a couple of years ago when we were all talking about the great resignation and quiet quitting and job hopping. Well, now people are like, let me just hug my job and stay put. And actually, the Department of Labor tracks this. They have something called the quits rate, and they look at what is the rate of people who are voluntarily leaving their jobs. It's only 2% right now. We haven't seen rates that low since 2016, outside of the pandemic.
That's amazing. So with that in mind, how do you stand out at work? What can you do to make yourself, really shine in front of the boss?
We talked to the team at LinkedIn and Dan Roth, and they say 2 words for you: AI, artificial intelligence. Be literate, understand it, learn it, exactly, embrace the change. And it's not as hard and challenging as you might think. You can think of AI as a personal assistant. So start experimenting with it, meaning ask it to summarize a report for you or help me draft an email to Chanel, and let's make sure we hit these 3 key points and see what it spits out. Just getting some familiarity, even creating a menu for a weekend dinner party, and give me a list of grocery ingredients. It's
it does that?
Things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so out of the loop.
Create a travel itinerary for me. A third of employers that were surveyed by LinkedIn say that they will be looking at employees' AI literacy as part of their job performance this year or as hiring criteria. So get on it, embrace that learning, and have that growth mindset. Something else that Dan Roth and his team said is really lean into being a human being as well, right? The things that make us empathetic, leadership skills, communication skills, time management, and problem solving. These are also things that make you stand out at work. And the cool thing is LinkedIn has a bunch of courses to help you improve these skills.
If I were hiring, I think it would be a superpower for me to interview someone who says, you know what, I know AI, I can do it forwards and backwards, but I also think it's good for me to be here as a human because I can connect with people, or, you can make it your superpower.
Hire her, people.
Right? So if you are looking for a job, can you talk about the pros and cons between freelance or full-time?
This is such a great question, Chanel, because people are really considering, should I go freelance right now? So the pros, obviously, flexibility. You can plan your jobs, your projects around your kid's schedule or the things that you have going on in your life. I know someone who loves surfing, so he was like, I do my freelance jobs later in the afternoon so I can take advantage of the morning waves, right? Skills advancement, I love this one because when you are freelancing, you're the CEO, you're the customer service, you're the person making the product, you do it all, so you learn all of the things. Autonomy, which I think people really underestimate the value of that in your job. People don't like to be micromanaged. They don't want someone watching over their shoulder. When you're freelancing, you're it. You're the boss. Now, the cons, obviously, it could be feast or famine. Your income can go up and down based on what you're working on. Also, a lack of teamwork. A lot of times you're a lone ranger when you're out there freelancing, and then you have to pay for your own benefits. You don't have the advantage of a big employer who has those negotiation powers with the insurance companies. All right, let's go to full-time jobs, right? Obviously, when you're working full-time, you get that paycheck every 2 weeks. It's kind of set it and forget it as long as you're showing up and doing your job. Health benefits typically covered, also 401k benefits, and structured growth. In a lot of work environments, you know your path. You know when you're going to get promoted, or you know what kind of like the levels are. When you're freelancing, that can be kind of a nebulous area. The cons, of course, the potential for burnout, right? Working the daily grind, as they call it. The potential for bad bosses. There are movies made.
We don't have that here.
No, not at all. We love our bosses. Yes, our bosses are the best. And then also you are dependent on your employer and that W-2, and in this time where you are seeing layoffs and cutbacks, you don't control your own destiny when you work for a big employer sometimes.
This is great, Vicky. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC, or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.